He's a fabulous bowler. Shariful, very smart, very accurate, gets it to move both ways, and usually his in-swinging ball does the job for him.
First time facing then in a one-day international for Siddiqullah Atal. And straight away off the mark. It's a confident start from the young man, and you'd expect a little bit of confidence given the form that he's in coming into this series.
Yeah, you try to look at small things like rotation of strike. He's done that straight away. So he's not out there with preconceived notion of batting on us. Great. This is a bigger leap, the ultimate leap from A to the top side, to your national side, and so his temperament will be tested in the circuit.
Width, and Ramanullah Gurbaz likes that. That'll go for 4. Look at the speed of the outfield there. He didn't time it perfectly, but he's found the gap, and Afghanistan are rolling. First over gone then. They've won the toss and batted 6 without loss. Confirmation of the teams for this first one-day international. It's a problem for Gurbaz here. Struck the ball very nicely out to deep point, but he's running between the wickets. Looks as though he's had some sort of issue. He's in some discomfort, that's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good news for Afghanistan. They need him to be in good shape. Match winner on the day. Gurbaz, a fine player.
Julian Califato, physiotherapist, is out there giving him some treatment. Good news is he's up and about.
See whether we can pick up anything when he was running. That ball hit the fence. Nothing much. It's just a jog, nothing more than that. Maybe he's carrying an old injury, or I don't know. I mean, it looked pretty harmless, that first run that he took.
A few concerned faces there. Nearest the camera, Mohammed Nabi, almost the king of Sharjah, lives just up the road. Former captain.
Going beyond what's possible means doing what hasn't been done before in Formula One racing. And that's why we are here today. I've got a challenge for you two. To find
2 years old, but the amount of cricket that these young kids have played, it just, you kind of can coin the term the young old guys. So much of running, so much of hitting, so much of tours and the pressure, then playing the leagues, and so it can take a toll on your physicality.
Taskin operating from the Sharjah club end. Siddiqullah Atal getting his cap earlier today. He has played 2020 internationals previously for Afghanistan. Actually made his 2020 international debut here in March of last year against Pakistan, and actually opened the batting as well on that occasion with Ramanullah Gurbas. Taskin, though, Mr. Experienced, 29 years of age, the leader of the pace crew, really. 8th on the list of top wicket takers for Bangladesh in this format. Those best figures you saw a little earlier, 5 for 28 against India on debut. And this is Siddiqullah Atal from that tournament in Oman that took place recently. More than 200 runs better than the next highest run scorer in the tournament. Incredible performance.
Takes a little bit of time adjusting to the surface here. It's not your normal colored surface. It's dark. It looks shiny and slippery, and so you can lose the sight of the ball after it's pitched in that area, in that good length area. So rather than going hard at the ball, you're better off early on, if you've not played here, to just take it easy, play with full face of the blade rather than breaking your wrist and trying to play that flick shot, because it's a slow pitch. It doesn't have a lot of bounce as well. What you need to do is to maybe aim that mid-on and mid-off area early on.
Taking his time, Gurbaz, making sure the match is played at his pace.
Checking the bounce, it's hardly there.
Oh yes, Taskin strikes. Gurbaz skipping down the pitch, trying to drive the outside edge, and Mushfiqur Rahim takes a good diving catch away to his right. Fantastic start for Bangladesh.
Yeah, intelligent piece of bowling, because he saw the batsman coming out of the crease and then adjusted his length wonderfully well. A little bit of shape away from him as well, keeping the ball away from his swing of the bat, and nicely held behind the wickets. It's a good catch, it's a good start, and the experienced hand of Taskin strikes early. 5 of 7, Afghanistan 7 for 1.
Ramat Shah in at number 3. Two slips in position. What a terrific over from Taskin Ahmed. A successful one. Afghanistan 7 for 1.
Yeah, disciplined first over. Just kept the ball in that area around that good length area, and a very good catch behind the stumps. I seem position, staying away from the line of the ball so that he can drill it through the cover area. Not to be.
So Ramachar in at number 3, the leading run scorer for Afghanistan in one-day internationals. That best of 114 actually came on this ground against Zimbabwe way back in February of 2018. Strike rate just in excess of 70 runs per 100 balls. And again, a little bit of swing for Sharjah. We saw that in his first over as well. That's nice.
Yes, he's a good, decent bowler. A nice seam position, taking it away from left-handers off stump.
From the past 2 series here, we know that that swing doesn't last very long. Those series that Afghanistan played against Ireland in March and against South Africa in September. Just getting a little bit greedy there, Sharjah. Hoping to swing the ball from around leg and middle. Getting a bit too straight, and an easy single for Atal as a result.
This is pretty instinctive from Gurbaz. He bats like this. He'll take a risk or two. And the idea wasn't bad, because he just wanted to get closer to the pitch of the ball and drive it through the offside. It didn't work this time, but usually he's pretty successful.
One of the slips has come out and has gone to a short mid-wicket position.
Hitting can be a bit tough on the surface, because ask any hitter, he would want a bit of bounce to help him hit those 4s and 6s. So the idea is that you lay your foundation on basic rotation of strike early on, and then once you get settled, then you can crack the whip.
And I think umpire Alex Wharf here is telling the captain of Bangladesh, Najmul Hassan Shanto, that at the moment DRS isn't working. So it'll be down to the umpires out in the middle to make all the decisions, if necessary, until DRS is back up and running.
I don't know whether that's good or bad.
Hamid Shah Durrani and Alex Wharf, the 2 on-field umpires today. Our 3rd umpire is Ahsan Raza from Pakistan. It's his 23rd match in the TV box. And Javagal Srinath, 4th most matches for a match referee in history in men's one-day internationals, behind Ranjan Majugali, Chris Broad and Jeff Crow. And he also played in the World Cup final in 2003 rather, for good measure. And the umpire's now being told the good news that DRS is back.
DRS is back. Everything.
A little bit of swing. An ambitious shout for LBW though. End of the over. Afghanistan 8 for 1. Early wicket then for Bangladesh. Afghanistan winning the toss and deciding to bat. Ramanullah Gurbas, the man to go. Taskin, the successful bowler, in operation again from the Sharjah club end.
You can do that in ODI cricket, leave the ball at times. So this is not a bad start at all from Atal. He's been careful here. Wicket has gone down, so I think the situation demands him to be just a little bit more careful and fall back on good defense. So there's a scope that you've been given in the batting department. That's a wide down the leg side. So that role has to be defined, especially to a young kid like him. There's obviously this natural talent and ability, but he's got to understand the situation and adapt accordingly.
Yes, and adaptation is the real test for him, to switch from 2020 international cricket, or 2020 cricket as he was playing there in the Emerging Teams Asia Cup, through to a much longer duration, 50 overs. It is a long time to bat.
In ODI, obviously, you can engage few gears, and so first of all, I think the idea is to survive this. There's a little bit of sideways movement. Wicket has gone down. Once again, rushing himself into that drive. Don't need to. Just fall back on good defense here for about a couple of overs. And so when we were batting in ODIs, the only sort of direction we were given is that play out the 50 overs. If you're an opener, look to play 50 overs, and invariably you'll get 100 and the team will win also. This is a simple message, but that used to work quite well with the top order.
Yes, those innings that Siddiqullah Atal played in the emerging T20 tournament in Oman, 83, 95 not out, 52, 83 and 55 not out against Sri Lanka A in the final. Incredible body of work, that. And all at a strike rate in excess of 147 runs per 100 balls.
It's a good time for a young kid to come into this dugout environment. Afghanistan are upwardly mobile. They're on a high. They played the semi-final of the World Cup in West Indies. And so it can't be bad for a young kid like Atul to come in and learn from, you know, the guys who've delivered at the top end. It's about winning, it's about enjoying each other's company, it's about doing well for Afghanistan, and that really can spur you on as a young kid.
Not sure what the delay is here. We're okay again to go, though. Very slow start to this match. Over 20 minutes gone, and we're only in the 4th over. Short and pulled away. What a resounding shot that was. A shot of confidence from Siddiqullah Atal.
So the first glimpse of how talented this guy is, because as an opener you want to have this shot available to you, and so it was smashed. Absolutely dismissive he was over square leg. If you can play the pull shot, if you can play the drive, then you're set to open for your side for a very long time, because these two lengths you get tested by fast bowlers. And the skin can be pretty slippery as well. 140.6, 138.6 his last 2 balls. What a shot.
Tested again, and almost all the way for 6. Tremendous end to the over there from Siddiqullah Atal. Successive boundaries, Afghanistan 17 for 1.
This field, and there will be run. It's been sedate start from Afghanistan, but Atal has started to unfurl his stroke-making ability. 2 boundaries from the previous over. Two classy strokes through the onside. He's an excellent player against a short ball. In the commentary box, I'm Devendra. With me is Obasha. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Just want to mention those shots. Really testing the middle of the wicket, and Atal really up to the challenge.
Beaten again. He's getting the ball to swing as well. Different lengths that he's been bowling.
Yeah, this will be the real test, really, the swinging ball. It's all well and good. You can play the short ball, especially here at Sharjah, but can you pitch it? Can you play the ball that's pitched up? A little bit of swing, a little bit of movement in the air. Saying that, he does look very talented young man.
Last 1 year has been incredible from the blade of Atal, getting a lot of runs in domestic cricket. Slip in position. He's watchful. He's got good defensive strokes and very good at taking time. Has the patience to play big innings.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Afghanistan really have took their time. Like you mentioned, rather sedate start here to these innings. But I guess you can afford to do that. It's not quite T20 cricket where you're trying to maximize and take advantage of the power play. Here it's about getting in, and I think once you can get in, you can perhaps take advantage of the back end of the power play. Umpires just making the captain aware that DRS is down.
Two men in catching position, the other 3. Slip and men in the covers. Short mid-wicket as well. Wants to run. Miscommunication. Wild throw.
Well, that could have been interesting. Sent back. An early call of yes. Let's have a look. Just knocked down the ground. Atal's interested, however, quickly sends his partner back, Rahmat, back to the non-strikers. No harm done.
It's a different experience for Afghanistan because normally, in general, they are used to having big combinations, working big partnership for the first wicket. Ibrahim and Gurbaz batting together. So Gurbaz already out, Ibrahim not participating because of injury. New combination, early jolt received. Swing again. He's bowling beautifully.
Well, it presents an opportunity to the likes of Atal to come in and grab the opportunity. Have another look at that delivery. We talk about some high-class bowling. Well, you've got to have some high-class footwork to negate that kind of swing bowling. The ball does swing here at Sharjah. The new rock does swing, but I would say probably after about the 10 over mark, once the ball is 5 overs old from each end, remember, got 2 new balls in operation. So once that happens, it can become that little bit easier for batting.
Nicely tucked away on the onside. We'll have to settle for a single. Good discipline from Bangladesh. 5 overs gone, 19 for 1, Afghanistan. Afghanistan winning the toss and batting first, 19 for 1. This has been excellent bowling combination. Shariful and Taskin in tandem. Taskin to continue from the far end. Well stopped on the follow through. A lot of challenges, especially when it comes to making debut. Doing well at the under 23 level or under 19 level, then making that jump. What all challenges the batters face on their opening match?
I think in one-day international cricket, firstly, you've got the nerves whether you're playing or not. You're a part of the squad, and then finally when you get the nod, you get the cap. The cap ceremony takes place before the game. I think once all those stuff has been taken care of, and you're minutes away from the business of opening the batting for your country, I think you do feel a little bit nervous sitting in the dressing room, but I think once you walk out there and take guard, I'm sure everything disappears. You start looking at the ball, you start looking at the field, you start getting into that game mentality and reminding yourself of your strengths, because that's the secret. You've got to walk out there and remember your strengths and play to those strengths, and not get sucked into the mind games that the opposition captain may well have in store for you. Just having a look at that ball, I think there's a little bit of leather that's just come off. I wonder if they're going to either snip it off or a wholesale change of the cricket ball.
Also, the role of the colleagues play a big part in easing the nerves as well.
Yeah, I guess it does, especially the senior players. I think often a lot of senior players sort of tend to go up to the youngsters and say, remember, young man, why you're here. Remember the way you've played leading up to this series. So it's important to play the same way when you're given the opportunity.
Last 1 year has been rollicking from batting perspective for Siddiq Atal, getting runs in domestic cricket, T20 cricket, in the emerging Asia Cup, and since then he's been outstanding. So that frame of mind, positive mindset, when you get runs, you are into the groove coming into the tournament. Wicket to fall, Gurbaz charging down to delivery, which just held its line. Little movement of the seam. Fine catch taken by Musfiqur.
Yeah, just played it on the walk, as they say. As the ball is swinging, you don't want to be walking because your head is not stable. The decision making can just falter a little bit, and as it did in that case for Gurbaz.
Too far down the leg side, wide will be signal. The focus from Afghanistan perspective would be on changing the momentum at the moment. Bangladesh exercising control.
Change of field here. The fine leg fielder has come into the ring. Have a look at that. And interestingly enough, they've got a deep square leg out. So are we going to see the short ball? Is Taskin going to test him out again? Because he's took him on twice. Can Bangladesh get third time lucky?
Bowling within distance, not bowling the short ball. Atal has the temperament. And he's been scoring runs. I've been talking about in the first-class cricket, List A cricket, T20 cricket, and when you're in good form, you think differently about the challenges, and he's got the patience to play big innings.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's shown that leading up to this game, but it's all about performing. There's one thing potential, and there's one thing performance. He's been given an opportunity here in this one-day international. So far, so good. Looks a pretty compact player. Played that short ball rather well in the previous over against Taskin. And apart from that, he's looked pretty good.
That might have came in contact with his stats. Still operating with slip, and third on the boundary, men on the boundary on the onside at deep square. Lovely stroke, amazing stroke from Atal, and he picks up another boundary.
Well, simple yet effective. Just a nice punch down the ground. Knew it was going to go to the boundary the moment he hit it. Just held the pose ever so slightly. And of course the outfield's done the rest. So boundary number 3 there for Atal, who is sitting pretty on 16 of just 22 deliveries.
It's a historic day here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, hosting the 300th international match. Pulls in front of square, wants the second run, and we'll get there.
Yeah, looks like the young man's getting better and better into his stride now. Nice boundary down the ground, followed by a pull to square leg. Foot picks up 2. And that will fill him with a lot of confidence, the fact that his footwork's working really well. He's leaning into the ball, to the full balls and also the short ones. That's the 300th game here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. These are all games held here at the historic games. I think this will bring him 2 more to Atal as he moves on to 20. An opportunity for some overthrows. Well, no, there isn't.
A lot of ODI cricket has been played at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, 253. Inspiring the next generation or generations of cricketers, 3 or 4 generations of cricketers. Especially remember growing up as a kid, watching Sachin Tendulkar, Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus in action. That was too far outside the stump.
Yeah, I do remember those days watching Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus operating at this ground, and watching our fellow commentator Ramiz Raja also showing us how to cut the ball off leg stump. Loved a cut, Ramiz, and of course the dangerous flick.
Lots of commentating on those glorious moments in late 90s and early 2000. Batsmen go outside the off stump. Likes to take time. Rehman Shah. He knows the importance of his presence at the crease with the departure of Gurbaz early.
(29 for 1) Afghanistan. Shoreful bowling very well into his 4th over. He's got the ball to swing back into the right-hander, got the ball leaving the left-handed Atal, and occasionally manages to get it going across the right-hander as well. So he's really is making the ball talk.
Rehman Shah has been a consistent player for Afghanistan since Asia Cup in Pakistan and Sri Lanka. His resurgence as a batter has been brilliant for Afghanistan, contributing massively in the ICC ODI World Cup in India.
Yeah, he impressed me really in India, the way he played. Really held the innings together a lot of the times. And I think at times Afghanistan needed that. Just needed someone to be able to bat time, really accumulate runs and allow the players, the other batters, to come in and bat around him. And I think he's got his mindset here to bat for a long period of time here.
Oh, what's your favorite memory watching cricket from Sharjah or playing?
Well, those of you know, I was born in Pakistan, and there's only one game that really comes to mind, is the India-Pakistan game where Javed Mirdad managed to hit a 6 off the last ball of Chetan Sharma. Gave him an absolute beauty. A knee-high full toss of all deliveries. He bowled it, and he put it, I think, about 10 rows back. A monster 6, and I think the whole of Pakistan was celebrating. This game was just an unbelievable game of cricket. So I probably have to say that one is my favorite memory of Sharjah Cricket Stadium.
Well in position, backward point, men in the covers. Short cover and mid-off on the offside. Third and final leg on the boundary. Clear miss. It's not very often you see Rehman Shah coming down the pitch. Frustration because they've been bowling well.
Yeah, I think definitely frustration for Rehman Shah, because so far he hasn't really attempted any big shot. I tell you what, that was not a million miles away from that off stump. And that's the way Shoreful has bowled. He's bowled it a beautiful line, a beautiful length, and has kept the pressure on Rehman, who has only managed to score 1 run of 10 deliveries.
Not much of pace in the pitch. It's not bouncing either. Reaching for it. Just falling short of the man at gully position. That marks the end of the 7th over. 30 for 1, Afghanistan.
So 7 overs in to the contest, maybe honours even as we get towards the latter stages of this first power play. 3 power plays in all one-day internationals these days, and remember, with 2 new balls in play as well. So that's 1 new white ball at each end. We're going to see Mustafizer Rahman for the first time. Very dynamic and varied bowling lineup this for Bangladesh. Ahmed Fadai is joining me. Ahmed, Afghanistan will be disappointed to have lost Gurbaz, but Wonderful scenes of this continued sparkling run of form for Siddiqullah Atal. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Andrew. Well, spot on. Rahmanullah Gurbaz has been performing for Afghanistan very consistently. Scored a brilliant 100 in the earlier series we saw against South Africa. Was the player of the series. Had a bad start to that series as well. Was out for duck. Oh, he's got him. This is the line that bothers Rahmat Shah, and this time around the pressure built has caused the trouble. Another wicket down for Afghanistan. Bangladesh are enjoying a wonderful time in the power play, Andrew.
Well, 2 in the power play. Say if you get 3, you're right on top. Again, it was just a drive slightly away from the body. Mushfiqur Rahim gleefully takes the catch. He's taken both. That to get Gurbaz, and now Rahmat Shah, who's gone for 2. Afghanistan in some trouble. It's 30 for 2. It's going to be the captain to the crease. He's out there earlier than he would have liked. Hashmatullah Shahidi in at his usual position of number 4. Someone who's really grown into the captaincy in this format. His batting continues to evolve. Something he'll want to change is that conversion rate. 21 50s, but still yet to get an ODI century. Could today be the day? He's going to get to 3 figures. He's going to be doing it under the maximum of pressure, because right now, despite him winning the toss, Ahmed, his side are in real trouble thanks to this second wicket.
Yeah, I think this is one line that has troubled Rahmat Shah over the years. Once again, Bangladesh. Remember in the series that Afghanistan played against Bangladesh, this was the consistent line that Rahmat Shah was troubled. And the problem was there was a lot of pressure building on Rahmat Shah. And Mustafizur doing the job for Bangladesh. Yeah, you're pretty right about it. I mean, saw the wicket, decided to bat first, but it seemed like it's been a good toss to lose for Bangladesh. Got pressure built, 2 batters back into the dugout. A lot of work to be done, especially by the skipper, Hashmatullah Shahidi.
What a sparkling way to get off the mark. It's going to race away across the outfield. Just his second delivery, but the perfect square cover drive. And the captain was off the mark in some style.
Well, yeah, that's a wonderful shot, a fuller ball. You want to bowl full on this wicket and want to bowl it to the pads of the batter, but this time around, right into the slot for Hashmatullah Shahidi. Opens his arm in a beautiful shot. The appreciation from the dugout tells you should ease the nerves a little bit.
His game is definitely evolving, isn't it? It's one that when he first started out on the scene, you think of his strike rates, he was always sort of stuck in the 60s or 70s, but he has added some power, and he looks to me to be very at home there at number 4. He spent most of his time in that place in the order, and when you're captain, you get to choose where you bat, don't you?
Yeah, and especially those winning moments. And when you talk about the winning moments, talking about that match in the World Cup against Pakistan, that was a big moment for the Afghanistan cricket. End of the over, we'll come to that. 8 overs done, 34 for 2.
So you're watching live from Sharjah on a historic day for these two sides, a historic day for the venue, and it's a Firebird production for the Afghanistan cricket board here. Great to be bringing you these pictures.
Yeah, so talking about Hashmatullah Shahidi, that winning shot he played against Pakistan, Afghanistan in that ODI World Cup, registering 4 victories, and ever since Afghanistan has not looked back, missing on the semi-final spot in 2023 and then in 2024 making it to the semi-final. That was a rough day, scoring only 59 against South Africa. Didn't read the pitch properly. Again, they had won the toss over there. But what a beautiful journey this has been for Afghanistan. And then look at the emerging Asia Cup. And particularly I'm looking at Siddiqullah, the kind of mental toughness that he so far has showcased. Tells you a lot about how Afghanistan cricket is growing.
Now, a bit of interest. It's come a long way across. Height might be an issue, but they're going to consider this and consider it in a big way. Now, what's the word back to the captain? I think Shariful Islam is interested. He's got 5 seconds, Shanto. What's he going to do? No. Now, for me, on first view, remember you have 2 reviews per innings. It looks straight enough. Was height the issue?
Yeah, you're right. He actually shuffles across. Siddiqullah Atal has that tendency. Looks a little bit interesting, doesn't it? Because on this wicket, the ball hasn't been getting the bounce that you will want. Yeah, I think you will want to look at the wicket-keeper to give you an idea, and probably the skipper looking at him and asking for an advice before deciding against the review.
Yeah, on that second view, we'll see if we can get another look. It looked a bit leg-side-ish, didn't it? Not just the height, so maybe at best, at very best, umpire's call, which means you're not going to get the decision go in your favour. You would hold on to the review, though. They did have a long think about it, didn't they? Just that angle down.
Yeah, but the only thing that maybe will have made Shariful very interested in asking the captain to take the reviews, because Siddiqullah has this. He shuffles across, he walks. But he's not got out so often for the LBW. If you look at his record of how Siddiqullah Atal has been out, it's been very rare in his case. Only 4 times, Raj telling us about his performances so far.
Get through for a quick single here. Let's see if we can get a look at the Hawkeye, the projection of where this would have gone, and was it the right decision for Najmul Hussain Shanto to keep the review in his pocket?
You're right, umpire's call, but why not take it?
You say that now. Captain Hindsight, Ahmed. Because of that shuffle across the stumps, that's why I thought it was an interesting one. And oh dear, if you're wondering how hot it is for November, I used to live in Dubai, Ahmed, as I've told you before, when I was here with ICC. Usually this time of the year, November, December, January, February, delightful. The rest of the year, well, particularly for an Irishman, a little bit too hot for your liking. But it's 34 degrees today. Is that heat, and there's a bit of humidity? We were sweating out there during the pre-match. Is that a factor in why Afghanistan have chosen to bat first?
Well, there's one thing before I come to that. You're working with ICC, sitting in an office, and they're playing out here under sun. That will do the difference. But yeah, I still think it's a little hot. I had a quick chat with Rashid Khan early on before the match started. So he was like asking me, how is the heat treating you? And I was like, it's okay. But then again, the warm-up that you do, the preparations that you do, and then you come here and play 50 overs, and then you come again in the second innings. So yeah, it's going to be a big toll.
In a funny way, Afghanistan are the kind of the 2 sides here. I know it gets very hot in Bangladesh, different kind of heat. They're more used to these local conditions because they play so much cricket here in Sharjah and indeed up the road in Abu Dhabi. And you can just see that heat, can't you? Maybe the start of November. I know it was much hotter in September when it was Afghanistan versus South Africa, Afghanistan versus Ireland into October. But here in Sharjah, well, you can't stand the heat. Get out of the kitchen of this Sharjah cricket stadium.
And then talk about the heat. When Afghanistan went to Bangladesh, they played a test match in June, July. God, That was heat. The fielders literally were not able to stop the ball because they were not seeing it. The sun was just hitting them right on their heads. And Afghanistan had to bowl under that heat. That was some taking.
Wonder, are we going to see a day where we get some kind of a fully covered stadium? I know there's one down in Melbourne that they use. That's mainly an AFL stadium that's used in the Big Bash. Just come back from USA, where Nepal and Scotland, and indeed America, were in action over there. And the latest baseball stadium they're building for the Oakland Athletics, which is going to go to Las Vegas, that's going to have a roof over it, because obviously Vegas gets very hot in the summer. So it's going to have a roof over it and be air conditioned inside it.
You know, the interesting thing I'm hearing is there is anything else in Las Vegas? Cricket?
Maybe
in
next
other
time.
games?
Dallas, Texas, the hub of it at the moment in the USA. Sharaful's got through the over despite a few troubles. 9 bowled, 35 for 2.
Lowest prices on Shopee, baby, buy on Shopee.
Azmatullah Armatsai. Certainly been impressed by the way Bangladesh have started. They've started with discipline. There's always an adjustment, isn't there, for these sides, juggling all 3 formats. We've seen Phil Simmons come in as the head coach of the Tigers. I believe he's going to be in place till the end of the Champions Trophy. There he is, former Zimbabwe, former Ireland head coach. Of course, did a great job with the West Indies too, didn't he? But he's come in really with a task to get this side prepped for that Champions Trophy in Pakistan. And that's why this series is so critical. Now this must be close and given. It's Mustafizer, 2 and 2 overs. And after such a promising start on his ODI debut for Siddiqullah Tal, I think he's been trapped right in front.
Yeah, see the quality of Mustafizer reading Siddiqullah Tal, how he has been batting. He doesn't take the review. The skipper tells him there's no chance you'll survive this call. All it will happen is that you lose the review. So not the kind of an inning that he will have been looking at, but let's have a look at this. This is plum. Brilliant bowling from Mustafizer, building the pressure on Afghanistan. Siddiqullah Tal, the player of the series from the emerging series, has to go back, make that long walk back to the pavilion. Scored 21 of 30. Afghanistan are 35 for 3.
Real trouble here for Afghanistan. In wonderful form, in conditions that they know and they play well in, winning the toss. And number 5 to the crease inside the first power play. In comes the all-rounder, Azmatullah Armatsai. He's a dynamic ball striker, he's an attacking player. Look at those career numbers.